Welcome to the Locker, Season 2, Episode 45, Special Episode 45. I'm your man, A. White, along with my partner, V. Styles. What's going on, bro?
I'm not sure if the nervousness is easy to see on my face, but I'm afraid that our special guest is going to have me do something that I don't want to do. And that Wildcat run still got me shaking in my boots, man. I'm telling you.
I don't know how scared you could be. And I don't know how concerned you could be. You want to know one reason why?
What?
Because you know damn well. What time do you show up? No, don't even tell me what time you showed up. How many minutes after 15 minutes? How many minutes minus 15 were you early? You know damn well. Come on.
I have an excuse. I'm training a decathlete. So
no, you didn't use that. No, you can use that excuse for me. You can use that excuse for all the Locker followers, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram. We got Coach. Oh man,
I know.
Man, you're not a Hall of Fame strength and condition coach.
I know.
So you gonna say, "Oh, hey, man, I understand your kids do matter."
I know,
but
man.
You know this.
Okay.
I just want you to. I want you to apologize to my man. But
you get me in trouble, man.
Before we get him in here, is there anything I need to you need to address before we get him on here?
Coach O, that one time, I think I skipped a set of squats because I was hurting, but I tried my best, and it was just one set. You have 4x4, and I did 3x4. That's all I gotta say. Now I feel easy. Now my heart isn't skipping a beat. My hands not sweating. I'm okay now.
My only goal is to get him to smile, man. My only goal. And until I was an adult, I thought, man, he was just a rock, man. I just thought he was a rock, man. I thought he was there for one assignment, to wear our asses out and get us in shape to play and not make friends, not care about your feelings, and didn't care if you liked him. So, hey, if we can give him the smile tonight, hey, it's a win for me. But without any further ado, Coach O. Hey, welcome to the show, Coach O.
Well, thanks for having me.
Hey, man, I'm glad you took the time out of your busy schedule. And I have to admit, I knew you were a great guy, and I kind of questioned some of the workouts you came up with, and we're going to talk about some of that. But when I looked at your resume and your profile, there was things I didn't know. Then it kind of clicked, like, oh, Van, do you know where leg throwdowns came from? Could you imagine who says, here, put your legs up in the air, and you get a 240 linebacker just throwing them down as hard as you can? Doesn't it feel like your ass was about to rip out of your stomach?
I thought my pelvic bone was going to detach from some people who were throwing my. See, we had to do it with DBs, and Keo Wilson wanted to hurt you. So I know.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so yeah, that's not bad. And Coach O used to love the morning workouts too. He used to like the 6 o'clock, 5:30 workouts. He was like, you must have like a whole pot of coffee. We come in there, he's ready.
He came like he'd been up for 2 hours already. Right. He came like he'd been up since 4.
Right.
But Coach O, man, like I said, I appreciate having you, man. It's a pleasure to have you. I know I've been talking to you, but Van has been excited ever since the first time I told him, man. Van was geeked up. I called Littleton Ward. Oh, man, Coach O. So, no, but like I said, it's a pleasure to have you, man. We appreciate you, taking some time out of your schedule.
I appreciate you reaching out and being included in this. And I guess the one thing I would say that it's probably true for all of us is just how fast time flies by. I mean, it doesn't seem possible. It's been, 25 years since I first stepped on campus there, and it seems just like yesterday. And I know we probably didn't win as many games as we deserved to based on how hard you guys worked, but I wouldn't trade the experience for anything.
Hey, Coach O, give the people a brief rundown, because see, people don't understand. Coach O coached some of my friends at LSU after he left Kentucky, and is the a coach is great when guys speak highly of him, even though he kicks their ass. That's something that most guys when you are puking in the trash can, but they're like, man, we love Coach O, and that says a lot.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you one thing, that one of the proudest moments in my career was when I went to LSU. The thing I was most proud of was the respect that they had for our program.
Hold on, Coach. Hold on. You just touched my heart and all of BBN's heart who's watching. Coach O still says our program. He went to another program after us, and he's still considering UK his program.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, it's like I tell people, everybody that's a coach or player should have a chance to coach or play at Kentucky, because it's such a unique, I mean, I don't know how you would explain it to people. It's just a unique place. I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean, people don't understand. It's like when I went to Kentucky, everybody knows about Kentucky basketball, but what they didn't know was how big football was there. And it is. And if you've never been there, you're probably thinking, boy, that's a basketball school. And obviously basketball is a huge, huge part of the culture there. We all understand that. But we were getting 58, 60,000 people to every home game. And that just doesn't happen.
Hey, Coach O, I was looking at saw some of your favorite players. I seen Jim Brown was one of them. One of the reasons I wore number 32, and when you were talking about that, it made me think about, we both from Northeast Ohio area. Was Worcester considered Northeast? Or is that Central?
I'm sorry, I could barely hear you there.
I said, is Worcester considered Central Ohio, or is that also Northeast?
It's Northeast.
Okay.
We're about 30 miles southwest of Akron.
Okay, so that's why when I thought you appreciate the fan base showing up, that's where I knew you were going with that. That our fan base showed up if we win or lose. It kind of reminds me of the Browns fans for years. If we're losing, they're celebrating and drowning their sorrows in adult beverages and libations. And if they're winning, then they're doing the same thing, but with a smile on their face.
Well, this is definitely Browns territory up here, without a doubt. And that's what I grew up with. And what I'm actually hoping happens, and I go up to the Browns training camp every year for a day just to watch practice. I've just missed Tim Couch every year. He's either there the day before or the day after. But I've never seen him in 25 years. So I'm hoping maybe that if I get up there and time it right, I'll get a chance to say hi to him. As you know, I help out over at Massillon. I was on the field before a game last year, and I hear this voice call my name from the stands, and it was Brandon Jackson.
Oh, Big B.
And, the first thing he mentioned to me was, I'm glad I don't have to weigh in with Uzelak and you every Monday. That was more stressful for me, I think, than the players.
Right.
Because he would always tell me in the staff meeting before we walked over there, if one guy misses weights, I'm putting my size 12 shoe up your hind end. And then we would leave. So I had to think about that the whole way walking over to the Nutter Center every time we weighed. But Brandon looks good. He's lost weight. He's really doing good. I think he owns a carpet cleaning business. but he was doing real good. He's got a family now, like most of you guys do. But it was good to see him. But
Hey,
the same thing I told him, I'm telling you. Once you see a Wildcat around, it's like part of the family.
hey, Coach. I had a question. I mean, I had another question, but I don't know if he's one of your favorites or not. You spent a lot of time with him. Anwar Stewart says,
Oh yeah.
Coach O, my man, what's up?
How are you doing?
Oh, Anwar's doing real good, man. We talked on the show before we came on here, man. You talking about the recruits we getting in and the support behind the team, man. Anwar is a position that we got high expectations for. I think we may see 3-2-3, and we're running 3-4. We may see 2 or 3 of those guys playing on Sundays. So he said he's doing great, Coach.
Well, I
But
tell you,
I would
I've heard
go
Van
ahead.
talk about this before with the recruiting, but you can have the 8th ranked class in the SEC in recruiting and be in the top 15 in the country.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All the time.
And what do you guys? I was just curious. It just seems like Stoops is doing such a great job recruiting. Do you guys have any answers to how that's turned around so dramatically? I mean, it seems every day they're in on 4- and 5-star kids that Alabama and everybody else wants.
Go ahead, Van.
I can't call it, Coach. I've said from day one, it's recruiting is all about relationships. And there is something about Stoops and Morrow and those guys that they create this relationship with kids because they start early. They get an 8th grader freshman, they get on them early. And you know how young kids are, oh, well, they start recruiting me first. Well, I'm going to try them first, and hopefully we can stick with them. And they have this bond and I think this honesty that they're not, feeding what to these kids, and they appreciate that because, like I said earlier, off the air, that 2016 I think was one of the best classes, and we were not winning in 2015 or 2014. So for us to get those guys to come meant that the coaches were selling something that was greater than wins and losses. And Lexington as a whole, man, like I tell people all the time, if you come to Lexington, you just get the kid on campus, you got a chance to keep him. Because like you said, there's something special. I don't know what it is. Like I told my parents when I came home, like, I just want to go to Kentucky. They're like, why? I'm like, I don't know. It's just a feeling. Everything feels right. And I think a lot of kids feel that way. And with coaches who are developing guys, they're getting 1st-round picks. I mean, think about this. We've got not back-to-back, but 1st-round picks and 2 1st-round picks in the last, few years. That's crazy. And now you come to a school with great facilities, great fans, great people, great coaching, and it just all adds up now.
Coach O, I'm gonna tell you like this. I ain't gonna be as nice as Van.
Uh-oh.
And like I said, I've grown to love you the older I got, and the less I gotta check in with you on my weight or run a Wildcat run. But this is what I see, Coach. One thing, once you do away with damn 65, you have one recruiting weekend, bring all 65 of your recruits in on one. That shit's out the door. That's one thing that helps.
That's true.
But I think our guys are honest with them, and I know you were 1 year under the air raid, so you got an opportunity to see a defense that put it on the line every week with a stubborn ass offensive coordinator that wouldn't change, and it didn't work. And you also for 1 year got to see an offense that was carefree and would put numbers up, and a defensive coordinator was stubborn and wouldn't change up with a defense that didn't work. I think now we have. And I think Brooks led it in that direction where we're going to be professionals. Not going to be one side is bigger than the other. We're all going to work together. And I think that's when it started really, really coming together. We had the tools in 95 and 96 on one side. And on 97, 98, 99, we had the tools on the other side. But both of our head coach had 2 stubborn coordinators on both sides. that didn't allow it to work. And we don't have that anymore. These guys are so cohesive, honest with each other, honest with the guys, and just hard work and willing to knock on all the doors.
Well, I tell you what, we beating the living crap out of Tennessee last year. Boy, that was great. That wasn't even a close game.
In Knoxville. That's what makes it better.
And, be honest with you, when I got to Kentucky, I thought the facilities there were great. They were the best I had seen. I can't imagine what it looks like now. Do they even have that weight room we were in, or did they use that for a storage room now or something?
Coach, you don't even want to see what they have right now. You would call them spoiled brats. And what they got now is you can't imagine what they have.
Really?
JoJo, you can't imagine.
I'm going to say this, Coach, and Stu has said this to any former coach that we've had. Whenever you get a chance to make from Worcester, 4-hour trip, maybe 4.5, depending on how you drive. I got a heavy foot. Come down from Worcester or call Stu ahead of time. Come down. Stu will give you a personal tour, and you will be mind blown. You will be mind blown. And I know you're over at Massillon, and Massillon's always been the top of the tier for high school. But man, it is. You asked, is it close? If you had to magnify it by how many times better it was than the 90s?
Look, 5,000. Dude, let me tell you, and Coach is right. I went to Alabama, I went to Ole Miss, I went to Arkansas that just started doing a new facility. Nutter was one of the best that I saw in 92, all right? This facility now, Coach, makes Nutter look like a high school facility. It's so good. There is nothing that's missing. It's nothing. An athlete has no excuse not to perform and prepare and hone his craft and do everything he does, because he doesn't have to leave the building. Like when we was there, we had to go across the campus to get to study hall. Yep. We had to go halfway across the campus to get food. Everything is in that one building. Everything. You can literally stay there. It's so nice.
Wow.
Coach.
Well, I remember I thought it was a big deal that we had racquetball courts in the football facility. I'd never seen that before. And I know you, Van, were a big racquetball player, and I know you and Coach Archer used to battle it out at lunch, but I thought that was a huge thing that somebody would have racquetball courts. Did they tear that building down and build a completely new one, or?
I believe they use it now for baseball and track, maybe some of other sports. Yeah. They have that whole facility, the football fields and all that. Because the new facility, they got new football fields. They built in a hill, and they built in steps. Like at the end of the practice field, there's a slanted hill as well as steps. Just everything, like Van said, everything's at the facility now. But hey, Coach, I will tell you this. You remember the ice tubs we used to have to get into?
I was going to say that too.
You used to smile about us having, get into there, make sure, and you stood by and made sure everybody got into the ice tub for their whatever, 15, 5, whatever, however many minutes. And you stood right there and made you and Coach Shelley made sure we got in there. Now, you come out of practice. There's this long old pool with jets and cold water going on it. You take your pads and stuff off at one end, walk through the pool, and all the water's, I guess, massaging your legs, cold water. And by the time you get out of the other end of it, you have refreshed your legs.
And you go straight to the locker room.
And go straight into the locker room.
Straight to the locker room. Straight to the locker room.
Like I said, you have to get with Stu. Stu said he would love to take you on a tour, so you got to get with them, man.
Well, I need to get down there. It's been too long, and God, I don't know who organizes these things. I mean, we obviously didn't have a championship to celebrate, but God, I wish you could have some kind of informal reunion where we could all get together some weekend and attend a game down there. It'd be great to be great for all of us to see each other.
Yeah, we can have a reunion for the senior class that got Coach Curry fired, led by Van Hiles. I can lead that one, Coach. That was
Well, I'll tell you what, it wasn't from a lack of trying. I mean,
Oh no,
it wasn't because people weren't working hard. I'll promise you that.
that's true. I mean, that's
it wasn't that side of the ball. But Coach O, I mean, what are your thoughts? What were your thoughts on? Van talks about it often. I wasn't really on the team at that point. But Van, what were your thoughts when this whole thing went down? Because, like you said, you see us every day. You see these guys working their tails off, and giving you everything you got, man. You proud of us, but to see, see the coach go out that way. Did you have any thoughts on the whole deal?
Well, I was talking to Van a little bit like that right before we came on, and I've had some other coaches who were on that staff tell me the exact same thing. And it's that 95 team, my first year, Van's junior year, we won 4 games that year, but very easily could have won 8 or 9. We were much closer than people will ever recognize if they look at that record, because we had 4 or 5 games that were a touchdown or less that we lost, and they were good teams like Georgia and Tennessee and Mississippi State. We lost to Louisville by 3 points. I mean, we could have, and we beat some good teams that year too. We beat LSU, we beat South Carolina.
Yep.
We went up to Indiana and beat them up there early in the year. So, we were close. The one thing I always felt was that our top 22 guys were really good SEC football players. I always just felt that where we were up against it, and I don't mean this in a negative way, really. It's just teams like Alabama and LSU had a lot of depth.
Yep.
If we got an injury or two, or got nicked up, it could affect how our team played. Those teams, if they get somebody hurt or nicked up, somebody steps in and there probably isn't that much a difference. But just generally speaking, if I look back on all that, I mean, you guys work so hard, and the coaching staff worked so hard. And I remember Coach Curry had those 6 a.m. football staff meetings every day during the season. And that's how the day started. And I mean, those guys were up there late at night every night trying to figure out how to get things fixed. And, it's just one of those things. There's so many moving parts on a football team that go into winning, and you got to get everything lined up in the right way. And sometimes it can be injuries. Sometimes it can just be bad luck. Sometimes it can be a lot of things. But we were a lot better back then than people realize. And I think Van understands that. And I know, Anthony, you were very young, but we had some really good football players on those 95 and 96 teams. And plus that league, I mean, I don't have to tell you guys or Kentucky fans, I mean, it's the toughest league in the history of college football.
Right.
I mean, that's one of the things that attracted me to that job to begin with, was a chance to compete in that league, because it's such a challenge.
Yeah, let me say one thing.
It's the ultimate college football challenge to play in that league or coach in it.
Right. One thing, and that's the coach brings a great point, and it kills me that Coach Curry gets slandered so much for not winning. I'm gonna just tell you, on that 95 team, we had 3 road games in a row. We played Georgia. The score was 12-3. We played Mississippi State. The score was 42-32. Then we played Cincinnati, I think, and the score was close. Then we played Tennessee at home and we lost 34-31. Coach, those are 4 games Coach Joe was talking about. We played 3 games in a row on the road. We was 4-7. That could have easily been a 6-5 team or a 7-5 team. Not saying we win all those games, but come on. The Vanderbilt game, I was going with the team we lost 14-10. Like those are 4 or 5 games right there that, come on. It wasn't like we was getting slaughtered. We had chances and we just couldn't it pains me because, like I say, that next year I was a senior and got Coach Curry fired. That '95 year, if we would have won some games, he might have been able to stay. And it really hurts me that all you guys got fired my senior year.
Coach O
Well,
did.
like I said,
I had Coach O for
wasn't-
another
That's
year.
right.
Trying.
That's right. That's right.
But go ahead. Sorry.
I mean, I look back on those days and I'm disappointed, but I'm not discouraged because I know that everything we did was with the intentions of trying to win, and I don't have any doubt that everybody did their best back there. I mean, it's a hard league to win games in. I
I
mean,
don't know, Coach. I love that you, as a coach, that said everybody. There were some players on that team. Anthony will tell you about it. There were some individuals on that team.
yeah,
That heart wasn't all there. Just saying.
Hey,
well, and you know, there are things in a locker room that should be kept in the locker room among the players. That's your sanctuary, I always felt. I never liked to go in there unless, I had to talk to somebody because I always felt that was like I said, that's the player's sanctuary is the locker room. And you guys know best what goes on in there. But was it a perfect situation? No, because every team's going to have certain people that you've got to get going in the right direction. And that's true on any team, I think. But when I look back on just the effort that I saw as a strength coach, I thought you guys worked extremely hard. And people don't understand when you're losing like that. I mean, it's human nature for all of us to maybe just let up a little bit. Because,
Right.
Nobody likes to, it's like working a job and not getting paid in a sense.
You're right.
And, that gets old. But it takes special people to keep going to that job every day if you're not getting paid and put their best foot forward. And I know Coach Curry, he's proud of every one of you because he always felt that the spirit of that team was never to try to let him down.
Yeah.
And I don't think he ever did. And, when you say you got him fired, Van, we all shared in the accountability of the end result of that. Myself, everybody else. I mean, it was a team. You win as a team, lose as a team. And, I feel awful that happened because, Coach Curry wasn't only a coach, he's a very dear friend.
Right.
And I'm thankful that I'm able to stay in touch with him a little bit, not as much as I'd like, but I don't know about you guys. Do you get a chance to correspond with him and talk to him?
oh yeah,
At all?
yeah. We've had him on here a few times, man, and man,
Yeah.
the guys
good.
loved it, man. He got emotional, got emotional quite often, but yeah, man, everybody loved and get to see him, and still looks good, man. Still looks just like you,
Yeah.
just like you.
Well, I flew back when he was at Georgia State. I flew back and visited him about 10 years ago when he was starting that program up from scratch. And if anybody could do something like that, it's him. I keep telling him he needs to write a book on that because how many coaches do you know that can take a program with not even a blackboard?
Right.
I mean, he didn't even have a blackboard and build it up into a Division I football team. But I'm just thankful I had the experience to work for him and get to know him. And he's a remarkable man.
I got two kind of questions or situations that go together. I'm trying to figure out. I was a Big Ten kid. Kentucky was probably the only SEC school I wanted to go to because it was the northernmost SEC school. But I wanted to play in the SEC. If it wasn't, now I wasn't a Big Ten kid. It was either Ohio State and Michigan, or I wanted to play in the SEC. But I came on a visit, and there's this big old dude, man, can't put his arms down. House. And I'm like, okay, it's kind of intimidating. And then when we start, I keep asking about where's that guy I met on my recruiting visit? Then we got Coach O come out. Just nice guy, stone face, not gonna smile. Wants me to go from being 177 pounds to 205. I'm like, well, in high school, I was listed at 195. I don't know what that scale is saying. So I didn't know that you were going to be my strength and conditioning coach. Was there any? Were you always after that position? Was there anything behind the interesting story how you came up in that position? Because you weren't the strength and conditioning coach when I came on my recruiting visit.
You say I was on your visit?
No,
you were not. Hoss was the strength and conditioning coach I met when I was on my visit. I don't know. Go ahead.
I'm glad you brought Mike up because I tell you, I met a lot of special people at UK while I was there. And I'll tell you what, I've never met a nicer man in my life than him.
Yeah.
And it was an awkward situation for me in a sense. And if Mike wasn't the type of human being he is, he could have made it a lot worse. But the first thing I did when I got hired there was go over and meet him and said, hey, look, I'm not here to replace you because nobody's going to replace you. I'm just going to try to do the best I can. And you know what? He was the most gracious, humble, nice guy. And I mean, I think an outstanding coach as well, because I went over there and I'd sit there and we'd talk all the time on Fridays after you guys would get done lifting on Friday mornings. I'd walk over there and we actually became pretty good friends. But I tell you what, he did a great job with you guys. And I mean, I'll never understand why I got brought in there in place of him any more than, Coach Curry getting replaced. But he was certainly a nice, I tell you, one of the nicest guys I've ever met in my life.
I got a story, Coach.
Yeah.
So you're right. Hoss was amazing. I'm gonna compare you two guys to Coach Collins and Coach Jackson. Coach Hoss was loved by everybody. Coach Hoss caused a fight in a division that year because everybody loved him. Now, it wasn't until we met you, but when we found out that Coach Hoss was going to be fired, dude, it was.
I don't blame you. I mean, I can understand. I can certainly understand why you would think the world of that guy, having met him and gotten to know him. I'd have been pissed.
So that was a fight, Coach, in the basement of K1. That was a fight. We're on a locker, Coach. We divulge all this information.
Yeah,
we don't hide anything.
See, nobody ever told me any of this either. I walked into a hornet's nest and I didn't even know it.
No one knows, because when I say there was a fight, there was a fight. Like,
wow.
Because here's the thing, because we were at a meeting, and the older guys who were seniors have been with Coach Hoss their whole 5 years. So They were upset. And then there were some new guys who came in and was like, dude, what's the big deal? We losing. We got to change something. Let's give whoever it is, give them a shot. No, we're going to rebel and do it. And when I say there was a fight, there was fists thrown and God. People jumping over stuff in the basement. Okay, when you came, and the great thing for me about you and Coach Jalen is that y'all didn't come there saying like y'all knew everything and y'all gonna ride this and all this stuff my way or the highway. Y'all came in, got to know all of us, had great I don't know what the word is, but great attitude with us, and it worked. And everybody fell in line. Everybody, oh, well, this is great too. And we got better. I'm going to say that we got better. The things that you guys brought to us, which we all hated, but it made us better. And I'm telling you, we all owe you two amount of gratitude that we can't pay you for, because you made us that much better. You made us a team in the locker room, in the weight room. Because like I tell everybody, the strength and conditioning coach spend more time with you than anybody else. It seems funny, but you spent more time with us than anybody. And we all love you guys. And it shows how we respect you and how hard we work for you guys.
Well, I appreciate that. And I'm glad you brought Aaron up, because the other thing is any success I ever had at any school, it's because I had great players working hard and had great assistants helping me. And I think we had Aaron and Chad Hutsko and Steve Dungan, and then Anthony, you had Jennifer Jameson.
Yep.
Was our GA, but I had great help. And Aaron, the thing about Aaron is he handled all that nutrition. Now, I didn't hardly know. I mean, I could have tried to bullshit people, but I didn't want to make a fool of myself. But Aaron, I think I told you this guy's time. He was accepted into medical school. He was accepted into medical school, which is way above my pay grade.
Wow.
Yeah.
And he decided he wanted to rather be a strength coach. And he turned down medical school to come to Kentucky. And I think we were paying him like $25,000 a year, which showed me how serious he was about it and how much it meant to him. Because, there's a lot of guys in coaching, especially nowadays, where the money's the priority. And then everything after it kind of comes in second. But that proved to me that he was in it for the right reasons.
Wow.
Which is why I was in it. And, he's out in Portland, Oregon now, and he's in good health, and he's doing fine, and he's kind of an entrepreneur. But the first thing I'm going to do tomorrow morning is call him and tell him that I was on this show and talk to you guys. He'll really be excited, and he asks about you guys all the time. But, there's no substitute for having the right people. I mean, that makes all the difference in the world. It doesn't matter if it's players or coaches or trainers. I mean, it's, you mentioned people getting let go. Al and Sue were people I thought a lot of.
Yeah.
Sue's from right up here, 8 miles from Worcester, where I grew up. And I thought a lot of them as trainers and people. And for them to get let go, that was hard on me personally. And I'd like to think a lot of the players really liked them as well.
They saved my life.
But, that's the one thing about Division I athletics, and especially football, is, boy, it can be a cutthroat, cold business. And you get into it fully understanding that, but it still hurts when people and people you have friendships with have that happen. But, I bring up Sue and Al. I can't bring them up without telling my Mark Jacobs Wildcat Run story.
Oh, no.
Were you out there, Van?
Hold on, Coach. Hold on. First of all, you have to describe this Wildcat Run, how you came up with it. I know, because the funny part about it is you have put it up, and your players from Washington State and Oregon, I think Oregon State, has come up with, man, we hate that. So this is a long run to the history of people hating it. Describe it and how you came up with it, then tell the Mark Jacobs story.
Well, it's probably the only original thought I ever had in 30 years of coaching. But we were doing when I got hired at Oregon State, now 35 years ago, people were doing the mile run for a conditioning test. And I just kind of thought to myself, there's got to be a better way than this. And I don't think it's really showing us a whole lot about football conditioning, and the linemen hated it. If you think about Brandon Jackson, those guys getting fired up to run a mile, timed mile. I mean, and I just thought, there's got to be a better way than this. So I went to the head coach at Oregon State and I said, Coach, with all due respect, can we try something different that's a little more specific to football? And, I thought I might have a fight on my hands. And he actually said, well, why don't you come up with something? And this was just something I kind of fiddled around with. And I was trying to think of something that would be at least safe because I didn't want the conditioning test to be something the day before camp starts where somebody pulls a hamstring. But I also wanted it challenging enough where it had to prove that either you had a big heart or you were in shape or both. And I just kind of fiddled around, and I figured out, well, the Wildcat Run is half the length of a mile, so that's good. That cuts the distance down. It's safe. Nobody's going to pull a hamstring doing this. And it'll definitely be a challenge, and you'll have to stop and start and change direction, which is football. So I just I threw it out there kind of as an experiment. And it's kind of like you guys. The more the players bitched about it, the more I liked it. I thought, this is good. And I kind of refined it and tinkered with it with those position times, because at first it really didn't have anything to go on with times. I just kind of threw times out there. Some of them were way too easy. Some of them weren't fair. But finally just kind of refined it to where they were pretty close. And by the time I got to Kentucky, I'd been doing that for 5 or 6 years, so I had a pretty good handle on it. But I remember Coach Curry, he wanted to do the 300-yard shuttle, which I really wasn't familiar with. But I said, you're the head coach, I'll do whatever you want me to do. But I'd like to at least try this in the spring and let you look at it. And if you don't like it, we'll change it. But I'd like to at least have a chance to try it. And I remember we practiced it in the spring after spring football, and he watched it. And he said, let's roll with it. So from that point on, I think as you guys remember, we practiced it in the summer every Monday. Every Monday. We lifted, and then we went outside and ran it on that turf field out beside Nutter. But I remember, Mark Jacobs, and you guys know Mark and what a character he was back then. And he Mark wasn't a guy hanging around at church or the library on the weekends. But, you knew Mark was going to struggle with that just because he was Mark, but he was going to do his best. Well, we ran it. It was probably 85, 90 degrees. It was sometime in July on a Monday. And I told Alan Sue, I said, why don't you come out to the run today because of the heat? And I want you guys, I don't think we'll have a problem with anybody, but be out there just in case there's a problem with the kid or anything. So they came out to watch. Well, Mark Van, I don't know if you remember this or not, but Mark ran it. And just as he's finishing, he dives headlong like he's diving off a diving board, skins up his arms, strawberry on his chin, and then he just collapses, and he's rolling around on the ground, and he's screaming, I can't see. And Al Green walks over to him, and he said, I can't see. And Al says, Mark, open your eyes. Mark opened his eyes. He said, I can see.
Mark was my locker room mate. He was next door to me, and we used to scream about that all the time. But let me explain to the people. See, you glossed over it. We are doing a 800-yard shuttle. Yeah. I would have appreciated a 300-yard shuttle. It's an 800-yard shuttle. It's goal line to the 20, to the 50, to the opposite 20. We coming back, 20 back, 50 back, opposite 20 back, goal line back, end of the end zone, back of the end zone, back to the goal line. If you think that's easy, go and try it. I tried it once, and I made it to the goal line. And I said, never again.
Coach.
Coach,
hey, Coach, there's a guy who just had to see you. He had to see you.
Hey, you know what?
I'm glad you're here.
Damn.
Because you were the guy that always won the Wildcat Run out of the DB group, wasn't it? You and Reggie?
Reggie and, yep. Him, Reggie, and Trubisky. 2, 3 crazy. You said Trubisky. Yeah, Trubisky beat Reggie.
I had to. sent me the link to get on, and he said you was gonna be on here, man. So I was busy with my son. He had baseball practice tonight. I was like, man, I got to get on here and see and say hello to Coach O. You've been an inspiration, just like Van said, man. I mean, that Wildcat run was a beast, Coach. I mean, I focused in on trying to be the first at it all the time, but that Wildcat run, man, was no joke. It was no joke, and I had to get my mind together to be able to do it every time I did it. I'm telling you now, it was a challenge, bro. For real. But it got us right though. I think it brought unity for our team, man. You know, because all the guys talked about it all the time, man. It's like trying to get themselves ready for the Wildcat run. We knew we had to do it before training camp started, man. And a lot of us, of course, we wanted to get our times before training camp started because we was able to opt out. So that was a good thing. Opting out was huge, man.
Yeah.
Huge. So we wanted to get ourselves in shape. But you, man, Ocho, man, I appreciate you, bro. You know, you came in with a whole different mentality. Of course, Coach Hoss did a good job too, but you just brought something different, man, and it came in a really good time of our program. So I appreciate you, man.
Well, I used to tell the DBs just keep up with you and Reggie, and you'll pass it.
Yeah, right. Hey, that was our plan. That was our plan of Littleton Senior. I think Littleton passed on the first try or second. I'm talking about everybody. I mean, just stay 5 yards down the state. And talking about when Littleton start pulling up, you just making sure you 5 yards. That's how bad he was. Even if you finish 10 yards behind him, you still gonna pass. Hey, stay behind Littleton as long as it's possible.
Here's the bad part about it. This is what made me upset. Even though you passed it early, you couldn't get out of running it though. You had to run it all the way to the whole summer. It wasn't like you passed it in the second time. You go, I passed. Okay, I'm done. No, you had to keep running it.
Yeah. Oh man, it was tough, man.
I don't think my glutes have ever gotten any tighter in my life than after running a Wildcat run. When I ran the quarter, I ran the 800. My glutes were like this when I finished.
Yeah.
It
was you had to get it was mental. It worked every part of your process of the athlete, man. Your mental aspect, your body. I mean, you had it because when you were done with that run, man, you did something. You felt like you were successful, boy. Telling you what.
I used to say, go gadget legs, because if your legs got to that line, a little bit, you had to stretch, get to grow and stretch, boy. Man.
It's great.
We used to always make the linemen wait and go last. I know they hated that. They'd have to stand there for a half hour to everybody else.
Big Massey, you watching this? Come on, because you know you had to run this joker during camp. You had to make it after practice.
I know.
Can you imagine?
Anthony Honecker struggled a little bit.
Man. Yeah. Can you imagine going? Look, let the fans understand. When we played, it was 2 days.
Yeah, Doc.
It was 2 days. You practice in the morning and you practice in the afternoon. There wasn't none of this whole walk through in the morning, shells in the afternoon. No. It was full pass in the morning. It was full pass in the afternoon. So think about going full pass for 2 hours, full pass again for 2 hours, and running an 800-meter shuttle.
Hold on. Coach O or Van, well, we all different years, so it should fit right into the whole spectrum. What year was it when we had a bad practice and one coach made us take our helmets off and run the Wildcat run, either in full pads, without helmets, or without helmets and shoulder pads? But we were in the middle of practice. We had to stop and run the Wildcat run. And Coach O didn't stand up for us.
I think that was Coach U. I think that was 90.
Oh my gosh. Boy, I had forgotten that.
Okay, so you were still there then, Van. You were still there.
Yeah, I was still there.
Okay. Man,
unless you did it
twice.
twice.
Man, I'm trying to remember that, dude.
You remember that? Dude, hold on. I think they let us take our shoulder pads off. I think we
Yeah,
just ran
Leg.
them.
I think it
yeah.
was just leg.
I'm sure they did.
Boy, that's cold. I don't mean that. That had to be Uselak that would do that.
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't
that was
think
Uselak.
anybody else on the staff would do that.
Kill said I
Yeah.
thought it was our
Kia
junior.
said y'all senior year.
I thought it was our junior year. Okay. I
Man,
knew it was one of them.
was
Yes,
tough.
Anthony. Yes, dude. I forgot about it until you brought it up. And then it came fresh. It's like you pulled the scab off and now it's bleeding. I'm trying to put some needle squirt on it. Oh man, I remember that.
Was that user like this that did
Yes,
that?
it was you. Like the offense was you know, we were
Horrendous.
in that ass at LT. You know, we was in that, and Coach U was. This was after Mo didn't come back, and they couldn't just run it down our throat anymore. They couldn't just run it down, dude. We were in that. Oh man, we was killing them. Coach U.
We didn't have Mo Williams or Rashawn Salam, so the offense didn't work.
Hey, Doug.
Hey, Dub, I like your pettiness. That's my favorite.
Yeah.
I like that pettiness. That was point on play. Yeah, so yes, I remember that, Anthony. Yes, I remember that. Yes, I do. And no one made their time except I think LT.
Oh man, I hopefully I did make it. I think I did. It was tough, man. Every time I ran it, guys, it wasn't. I had to get my head together to do it. I ain't gonna lie to you. I sure did. And it was one of those runs that I thought about like throughout the night to prepare my mind for it, man.
You thought about it. I thought about it about 2 hours after I ran the previous one. So that Monday afternoon, after I finished, I prepared my mind. Well, I got to run again next Monday. I'm going to eat right. I'm going to get enough sleep. I'm going to do everything to get ready for the next week.
It forced you to take care of your body. It really did. It forced you to take care of your body. And that's what you guys have to start with, man, a lot.
Go ahead, Ed.
I do want to say this, though. I got two things to say. I'm going to try not to get emotional on one of them. I'm going to try not. I ain't never been emotional in front of anybody except my mama. But Coach O came into, this is the easy one. That Coach O was weighing me and LT. Used to always get our plan together because we was way underweight. So we used to have them compression shorts on. It might be a 5-pound plate in there. It might be 2.5 in the thighs.
Oh man, that's funny.
So
That's true.
he weighed us. That's how cool he is. He ain't say nothing. He waited, came in the locker room, our sanctuary, where he never comes, and was like, man, I think there was some skullduggery going on ways this morning. Let's try and do it the right way. We can't just, I didn't drink beer back then. There wasn't no way for the game to wait.
Oh, man, that's tough. You did, Coach. I appreciate that, man. Man, I wasn't bad. We was trying to make weight, boy. That weight was something else.
That's funny.
We was putting plates in there. Everybody came out with compression shorts all of a sudden. I never wore compression shorts. But the other thing was,
oh wow,
we got into it. We got into a real huge fight with the whole city of Lexington. Me and my roommates and a bunch of Marlon McCree, Tony Woods, Quentin McCord, Anwar Stewart, Wendell Child. I mean, everybody, man. Chris Ford. It was a bunch of it was bad, dude. Dudes in the hospital. We was in the hospital all night, man. So we get back because Tony Woods was in a pretty bad situation. We get back to the room maybe 3 or 4 in the morning. We kind of like, what we gonna do, man? We kind of find out who we gonna tell Coach, and we don't want nobody to know about it. It's all over the damn news because the UK football team, we had like 2 or 3 players hospitalized. Yeah. Man, this is the thing that changed. It didn't change my perception, but I think of this day, I never had anybody do anything like this. 8 o'clock. Early in the morning, we not even hardly out of bed. Somebody knocking at the door. Man, they look through the peephole. Man, it's Coach O. Oh, shit, Coach O. Man, Coach O came over there first thing in the morning to find out if everybody was okay. All he did was doing a wellness check. He checked everybody out, man, sat around and made sure it was okay. Asked for D. He wasn't coming snitching. He wasn't coming to find out the story to take back. He was coming to check on our wellness. First thing in the morning, the night after it was in the news, instead of, going do their thing or wait till we come, he came to our house. And, man, ever since then, man, I was like, man, that's genuine. I've just never seen anything like that. That is genuine, man.
Heck of a dude.
I appreciate
Well,
that.
I remember Tony. I think he got hit in the face with a chair.
Yeah,
Yeah,
was
yeah.
Because I
pretty
remember
bad.
him laying, when I came in your apartment, he was laying down either in bed or on the couch. And I mean, his face was swollen up. You couldn't even recognize him.
Yeah.
I mean, that was bad. And I'm trying to remember. I don't know what started it, but he was in pretty bad shape.
Just football players and
Yeah.
Littleton City, man. Littleton City didn't want us here,
Come
man.
on, man.
They didn't think
See,
we were
that's
worth.
what he got. Come on, man. See what I'm saying? You got to come on, man. That's brother. Hey, I can't control nothing that goes around in any area environment, man. It's unfortunate that happened. You know, it happened, man. You got people that just dislike people for any kind of reasons, man. You know,
Yeah,
I don't
and
know.
it probably
It's
messed
crazy.
up. And I'm gonna say this. I've said it on here many times. Cornerbacks is a confident driven position.
Absolutely.
And I'm gonna say
Absolutely.
I was one of the best corners ever at Kentucky history. I'm just gonna say that. But Tony
You
Woods was
should.
that dude. T.
Yeah.
Woods was that dude. T.
He can play,
Woods
man.
was probably the best corner,
He can
and
play.
we had some really good corners.
Yeah,
Right?
man.
My time at UK, he might have been the best.
He was an all
He had the
around cat,
potential.
man.
He had the
He had the
potential to be the
potential
best.
to be the best. Right, right, right. Well, I
Because
said that my senior year, man, on when we do all our insights on what players could be, who's going to be a surprising player, who's going to be a top player this year. I mean, Tony was that's the one that I mentioned. I sure did. I mean, and I was very confident, dude, of course, but I saw that this kid he was special. He was a special cat, and I knew that. I always told him that. So I mean, I as humble as I was, and also as confident as I was. I mean, I have no problem giving him props. How good he could have been, I should say.
yeah.
And that's what it is. So, but yeah, he could have been top of the list without a doubt. I agree with you. Absolutely. So,
Now, I got a question. Do you do this show every week, twice a week? Because I'd like to tune in and listen from now on and just kind of keep up with what's going on down there and everybody else.
East Styles
Yeah,
and
we're
pick it up, man.
every Tuesday and Thursday from 9 to 10. I mean, you could go back and watch them. Well, they're all up on Facebook,
Oh, really?
YouTube. You can go watch. Yeah, you can go watch the. We probably had 130, 140
Yeah.
Oh,
episodes
my
at this
God.
point.
They've been rolling.
And
Now,
Van,
you're
as
going to
long
have
as
Tony.
Van doesn't stand me up, we have to cancel if Van don't show up.
And you're going to have Tony Franklin on Thursday.
If Tony Franklin be on Thursday, we're talking
I'm
all
definitely
things
gonna
air raid.
definitely be on then.
Air
We actually
raid,
talk
man.
pretty good
Holy
stuff.
smokes.
We're gonna ask all the questions that needs to be asked.
You missed that, these
Yeah.
styles. Yeah.
Yeah, no. I'm not. Hey, we had Coach Curry on here. I need to go talk to Coach Smith. I know he's watching right now. I know he's watching. When you heard Coach O is gonna be on here, I know Coach Smith is watching.
He's
I'm
on
gonna
there.
be in your inbox, Coach Smith. We're gonna have to get you on. I'm gonna have to
Another
get Coach
good guy.
Archer too. I gotta get Coach Archer because he said
You gonna
something.
get Rick Smith on here, man.
I gotta get him on here. Gotta get him on here. And he watching.
You got
He watching.
Keo on here. You got Keo on here. Van.
all them drills he had us doing. Lord have mercy.
You know Coach
LT.
Smith is watching.
LT.
Hey, Coach. Oh, I did want to tell you this. There was a question.
Uh-oh.
Chris Ford told me not to bring up his name, so I ain't gonna bring up his name. But somebody did say, and it wasn't Chris Ford or Phil Morwester who said this, but two people said, we don't think Coach O know what he's doing. We think he just makes stuff up and try to see if it works. And when you explain that thing about the Wildcat run, man, I didn't know you were using us as guinea pigs.
That's wild.
Well, the good thing is you guys don't have to worry about getting up tomorrow morning early and running unless you decide. I want to know if Van's making his kids do it.
Coach, I wouldn't make him do it. I wouldn't. My wife would probably divorce me when my son comes back and says, "Do you know what my dad made me do?" I puked and all that stuff. I might be a single man. So now I'm not going to do it, Coach. Coach, I'm telling you, I did. I tried it. I was 30. I was turning 31. And I did the marathon. I'm like, okay, I'm in good shape. Let me try this Wildcat run. Ha! 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 No. Now, could I jog it? Yes. But trying to make it in, what was it, 230, 220 something? It wasn't happening. I got halfway. I'm like, I'm not going to make the time. So why am I running it?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, I'd like to talk to Mark Jacobs and Deanna Honecker and some of those guys and get their perspective, see what their memories of it are.
Yeah,
how about Thad Corbin? Thad, I know you commented early. Thad, come on. So we hear what you guys say. Coach, if you haven't seen Thad Corbin, look him up on Facebook. He is a GQ model now. Yeah. I don't know if you remember. Back in the day, he was 3+ with 8 chins and all that other stuff. Awesome. He's smaller than me now. So I know he had trouble.
I remember calling Thad Court. There was, we had those early Friday morning workouts, and Thursday nights were, for some guys, were kind of a social night. So I called Corbin into my office on a Friday morning after squats, and I said, "Hey, Thad, this is just in confidence. I need some help here." I said, "Have you heard any rumors about the football team drinking on Thursday nights?" And he looked me right in the eye and he said, "Coach, I haven't heard a word, but I'll do some checking around."
Oh my God!
What his breath smelling like? Malt liquor too.
Mm-hmm.
That might have been the same time Curry came in there and said the whole nutter smelled like a brewery.
Dude, let me tell you something. We had a quarterback in those years who would do it the day before and kill the 6 a.m. workout at the field house. Would straight kill it. Would throw up, but would straight kill it. You know what I'm talking about. Dude, he would kill it. I'm like, oh, I almost said his name. How did you just come here smelling like you just came out of the bar and kill it?
Some guys are like that, man, but it's crazy.
Hey, I'll give guys credit. If you could come in there on Friday, and as long as you got your workout in and did your business, there's an easy way to do things. There's a hard way.
Mm-hmm.
Some of those guys I know, I used to tell Coach Shelley, I'd said, there's 4 or 5 guys in here that probably didn't get any sleep last night, but they're still doing the workout. I said, they're probably going to go home and collapse until Monday, but I don't know how they do it. But, you could come in and get your work done. I mean, some people are willing to pay that price, but a lot of great memories, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
And people, that Friday morning workout wasn't easy. You don't understand how hard that was. And for someone
right after Thursdays or something. I hope Jay Parks is watching. Jay Parks, I hope you're watching this. And Jay Parks, he'd come back in there and get his workout sweats and go right into practice. I ain't been asleep yet.
Wow.
Yeah, man. Like, hey, man, we on our way out at 6 a.m. He on his way, and what you doing? I gotta get my sweats.
You said to get his sweats? Dude, hold on. Everybody understand this. I slept in my workout uniform the night before. I brushed my teeth going to the field house so I could sleep every minute. So I put my toothpaste on my brush my teeth on my way to the field house to sleep all the way to, I think it was 5:50. I think workout was at 6:10, something like that. Dude, that's how bad it was. I don't see how y'all did it. I don't see how y'all did it, man. I don't see how anybody can do it like that.
Hard, man.
Yeah.
Hard life, hard living, brother. Pay the price,
Mommy
though.
actually changed it up. Mommy actually changed it up where only the defense had to work at 6 a.m. The offense could work out after practice.
Yeah, that was good for team morale.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Don't get me started on
6
that.
a.m.
I'm not gonna comment on. I'm not gonna comment on none of that moving forward.
Are you serious? Coach,
Yeah.
are you serious?
Oh, and he let the defense wear black jerseys so it can absorb more of the sun and they'd be hotter. And we wore white jerseys.
Are you serious?
I'm about to get off the show.
Hold on. Actually, this real? Y'all had to work out first?
I'm about to get off the show.
Yeah. Hold on, Van.
I want to leave on a good note.
Van, I ain't done yet. I ain't done yet. And after practice, the defense had to wait for the offense to eat first. No matter when you went off the field, you had to wait till all the offensive players ate first.
Oh no!
Unless you had a night class.
Well, Anthony, do you remember the defense had to wait to eat after practice, and Bassett went in there. Bassett went in there and he ate all the fried chicken. So the defense came in and there wasn't any meat left.
No.
Once again, I
remember how mad Snedeker would get. Snedeker came in my office.
Snedeker was nuts. He was nuts.
Defense was getting up at 6. The offense would roll in about 2:00. So Snedeker comes in my office and he closed the door. He says, "Coach, I got a question." He says, "If I punched Major in the mouth, would Mommy kick me off the team?" I was like, "What?" He said, "I'm serious. You think I'd get kicked off the team?" I said, "Well, yeah, probably." He says, "Well, this 6 a.m. stuff, why are we getting up at 5:30 and the offense getting up at 1:30 in the afternoon?"
Brutal.
Hold on. Anthony, you left that out. You said y'all went after they did. So I'm thinking
no, I did not.
9.
I said
it was a lot.
Lift before or after practice. We had 2 groups. You can lift before practice at 1 or after practice at 4.
It was flexible.
But I believe it might have been right before. I think it was right before.
It was.
Dude, I would have.
Van. It was a whole nother world, brother.
I would have lost it. No, it wasn't gonna happen.
Whole nother world.
Oh, y'all don't. I don't know if y'all remember the amount of team meetings I called. Oh, that would have been a meeting. That would have been a meeting.
You called 17 meetings.
Oh, dude.
Hey,
I'm coming in at 6 and y'all come in the afternoon? Oh, hell no. Are you serious?
So you don't care about having to wait for us to eat first, though, right? You don't care about that.
No. That I was cooking my own food. I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about waking up at 5 o'clock to get there at 6 because I was off campus to make sure I got there early because then y'all come strolling in at noon. Are you serious?
I didn't think about that. I didn't think about off-campus people because when Mummy came in, he lifted the off-campus rules so everybody could live off campus. So I didn't. Well, everybody except freshmen, I think. And
freshmen still stayed on for at least a semester or 2.
Yeah. Wow. I didn't think about that. Dang, that is.
Oh, and Van, if you can remember, Van, when you came down from when you was with the Bears, you came down and you saw us during the time period where we was staying in a hotel. I mean, cats could go to the mall or whatever. Yeah. And you were sitting there looking at me like, they get to go to the mall? I'm like, dude, I'm traditional. I don't got no time to go to no mall and relaxing, dude. I'm trying to focus on the game. So I was kind of out of sync with that. It was just me. I'm an old school claw, but it is what it is. Not taking nothing away from nobody else that did that. It was just something I didn't entertain it. I couldn't entertain none of that.
I didn't even know that Hilton Garden door open after you got in. I thought it was. I didn't know you could walk up to it and the doors were open. I didn't know that even exists, bro. Yeah.
It was different, bro, to say the least. I'm being very political correct right now, but it was a lot of stuff that I can care about. I can say that, but it is what it is. It was, as you can see, it was a short stint for that. So.
Hey, well, the offense wasn't working. He got the offense fixed. The offense started working. That was the problem. That was the problem.
All I gotta say is now I understand why Coach Smith didn't stay.
Absolutely.
I understand why Coach Smith didn't stay because he would have punched somebody in the face.
Absolutely.
He would have punched.
There were some wild times.
Well,
I tell you what, there's a lot of different. What I learned from that whole experience, there's a lot of different ways to skin a cat. You know?
Absolutely.
There's
Absolutely.
a lot of different ways that work.
Absolutely.
It didn't work, Coach. It didn't work.
I mean, it's when Rick Smith left, man. I guess from my standpoint, you know, when Rick Smith left, it was tough because he kept everything, the discipline the discipline on the defense and all those things, the integrity of it, and you're having other guys having your back was solid. But after he left, man, it was man to man, baby, all day, every day. So
now, do you ever keep in touch with Coach Smith, or do you guys know what he's doing right now?
I saw him a couple of years back. I haven't stayed in contact in that sense because he's been, of course, I think he's retired from coaching now. So Van May, I mean, I don't know. Yeah. I haven't stayed
he was at ECU when I last saw him face to face. And I think he retired a few years after that. He really liked his time there, and he's still there. I know he does a radio spot. He used to do it a lot. I think now they cut it down, so he's not on as much. But he's.
How about Coach Archer?
Coach Archer.
Coach Archer was in Canada 2 seasons ago.
Yeah.
Was it 2 seasons ago? Man, that 2020 screwed my head. He was in Canada recently. He retired, but then one of the coaches up there enticed him to come back. I saw him and Coach Archer. I saw him and Coach Smith at that same year. That might have been 7 years ago, maybe. Now. Yeah, they were doing well.
Active. Smith is still active on Facebook. I've chatted with him a few times on there or whatever, but I haven't seen Coach Smith since the 90s. But I've chatted with him a few times on Facebook.
I'm gonna say this, LT, to disappoint you. I went to practice, and it was a country club. Just letting you know. It was country club living. Dude, it was country club. When I say country club, listen to me. It was country club living. They were in scales and t-shirts and shorts. And no tackling gear. It was so nice. I was like,
hold on. So you would have been fine. So you would have been fine if they were in full pass. Because here's the thing: if they were going to be in full pass, it would have been the scout team offense and the defense. We wasn't going to be in full pass. We were supposed to be crisp and fast, and we weren't. So even if you wanted to see the defense and pass, you wanted to see the offense and pass. He was right there. He didn't care. And that's what, and I think Littleton might agree. That's, I think, why Divas had a tough time. Well, they did play man-to-man all over the damn place. But I think we missed a lot of tackles just because they couldn't hit us. We was always in shirts. So it was just, you never really got an opportunity to get you.
Derek Homer used to go at it a lot. Of course, we couldn't hit him. But when he ducked his head, I would have hit him anyway. Mama got mad at me. He got mad at me at almost every practice. I was coming full speed. I you know how we were, man. We were used to coming. I ain't backing off of nobody. I'm a senior now too. Man, get out of here, man. Let's go. So he didn't care about me that much as far as that contact stuff because I was still bringing it. I didn't give a daggone, brother. I didn't care.
Van, was it you or Reggie Rusk who hit Billy Jack in one of the scrimmages preseason, and Coach Smith and Coach Uselak got nose to nose?
I remember that.
I mean, they were ready to fight. I mean,
it was a scrimmage. I remember that.
I mean, it was because somebody came up and just blasted Billy Jack.
Yeah, I remember that.
On a red jersey or something. I thought it was Van. Maybe it was Reggie Rusk. I'm not sure.
I remember that.
Some Keo would do.
I remember it.
Keo.
I remember it.
Yeah.
Coach Smith got fired up now.
Yeah.
Look, see, people don't understand, man. We used to do tackling drills against each other that were suicidal. And so when we got to hit somebody else, we were happy. So we were callous to really go after somebody. So yeah, I think that was Keo. I think that was that 96 fall practice.
After doing tackling drills for Rick Smith, brother, you was ready for the game. I can tell you that right now. You ain't missed we ain't missed no tackles in the game at all.
You were either mad at Coach Smith or you was mad at your partner, because your partner's supposed to be, hey, dude, let's take this easy. If he went hard, you had to go hard. So you was either mad at him for going hard, or you was mad at Coach Smith for even coming up with these tackles. So when you got to 1v1, you were ready.
Yes, absolutely.
Eyes red, mouth watering.
You was ready.
Hey,
Man,
Anthony and Van. Hey, I hate to do this. I got to make a call and check on my 94-year-old dad before he goes to bed. I'd love to do this again, and I'll tell you, I'm going to listen on Thursday. And I could sit here and talk until 2 a.m. This has just been wonderful to reconnect with everybody.
I wanted to make sure I got on tonight, because Coach was inspirational, man. I appreciate you, brother.
Yeah.
For real.
Well, I appreciate all your guys' hard work and your commitment. And I'll tell you what, we had some good times back there, and I'm going to get down to Lexington now that this COVID stuff's over. I'd like to get down to Lexington to a game this year, especially since we've got such a good team, but it'd be more important to see all the guys if we could get people together.
Yes, sir.
No doubt. We're working there. Hey, Coach, thanks for spending some time with us. We appreciate it, man.
Well, thank you so much for having me on. LT, great to see you and hear your voice after all these years. And we'll make sure and keep in touch. And you guys know if you ever need anything, you call me.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Same here.
Appreciate you, Coach.
All right. You guys have a great evening.
All right, Coach.
All right,
thanks, Coach.
I'll be listening on Thursday.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. You bet.
All right. There we go. Well, we all DBs in here, so appreciate
DB.
All we missing,
DB. You're running back. You're running back, man.
Manchester.
You're a running back, brother. DB. Why you pause for? You're a running back. You started out DB. You started out DB. But you know what I'm saying? You're running back with your thing. I'm just being real with you,
man. I'm gonna say this much, and I don't know if I'll be sarcastic so much. I don't know when I believe myself or not. People always say I'm the DB. I was a good running back, but if you look at my defense, the games I played defense in high school, my stats is better than like most people's season stats. And I only played 3 games.
I had like
3 games, 2 touchdowns, and I got hurt.
That's good.
Then when I came back, I didn't want to play defense no more.
Well, I think that they made a good choice putting you where you needed to be at, because you made a difference in running back, man. A major.
Hell no, I want to play DB. If I ever after I was done, if I was going to play in another league like Arena or Canada, I wanted to play DB, man.
Did you? Man, I can dig it. I mean, that secondary is something special, man, without a doubt.
Oh yeah. Y'all held it down, man. Y'all held it down. Y'all just want to play man 99.9.
Well, that's my scene here. But actually that brought a lot of character though. It was different, but every scheme is different, and you just have to play ball regardless, man. And I just now adapted, so it is what it is.
I don't know why Van came back. I'm getting off.
Oh, I don't know what happened.
Man, I appreciate y'all letting me on, man. I mean, granted, I try to get on. I mean, granted, I didn't know if I was gonna get on or not, to be honest with you, because the time period
my face is tiny.
So, but yeah, man, I appreciate catching up with y'all. V-Styles.
Yeah, always, man. Always. You know how we do. You know how.
I had a couple more Coach O stories I wanted to tell, man. I knew whenever we get them guys on, man, the hour just ain't enough, man.
Right.
Hour just ain't enough.
It's not.
But all right, man, we'll let you. Like I
All right,
said,
man.
well, I don't know. You ain't have too much to say about the Tony Franklin thing. So
Air raid, baby, air raid.
hey, so we got Tony Franklin on, but Tony Franklin might agree with you on a lot of air raid stuff, coaching and all that. So we gonna talk about all that.
Oh, let's talk about it.
All of it. Yeah, man. All right, fellas.
All right,
man.
Blessings, y'all. All right, man.
Yeah, man. Same to you, brother.
All right.
Later.
I'll take it easy.
All right.